Central Alabama today, bringing pleasant conditions. How long? We're expecting those conditions to last until the rain returns. That's coming up. Plus, we're tracking the possibility of storms for your Memorial Day. We're expecting for the weekend and to go along with how long this nicer weather is going to last. We'll break all that down for you coming up in your First Alert forecast.
Live on your side. First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
But first, some incredible video out of Madison County after Tuesday's storm. If you want to be a storm spotter or a meteorologist, this is textbook. This was taken by Jacob Chapman and his Torvex storm chasing team. You can see the tornado beginning to form there. What you're seeing is a funnel cloud wrapping around the wall cloud. That is what we call the inflow of the storm. And if you look closely, because it's a time lapse, you can actually see the difference, the contrast in the air mass. We have what's called the rear flank downdraft. There's some of that cooler descending air out of the storm. It's actually pulling the precipitation around the tornado, and that's one of the things when you're spotting that you don't see often there, because it's typically in a drier region of the storm, but you can see it wrapping around that precipitation. Very interesting view, but it just shows and just highlights how dynamic, how complex these systems are when they form. And I know we see a lot of pictures of tornadoes, a lot of videos tornadoes, but it's very difficult to spot a tornado many times. So we're going to be talking about more storms in the forecast coming up. That is the next big thing. But as we move to the weekend and with the storms, we back away from a larger risk of tornadoes and we get back to that risk where we're going to have some strong straight line winds, some large hail. That's what I'm watching as we get to Saturday. So that's what's next, starting Saturday and through the Memorial Day weekend. And yes, I know at one point that you looked at the forecast and it looked dry for the Memorial Day weekend, but it has trended much wetter. It's been trending wetter for the past 5 to 7 days, and now it looks increasingly likely that we're going to be dealing with some scattered storms this weekend. So giving you that first alert starting Saturday and continuing through not just the Memorial Day weekend, I'm seeing rain chances through the end of the month. So we're going to get into that. Make sure you have the weather app. If you're traveling down to the coast, down to the beach for the holiday weekend, make sure you have the weather app, because that follows you where you go. So when do these storm chances come back? Well, it looks like Saturday afternoon. As you can see here, around lunchtime to 5 o'clock. This doesn't mean every location is going to see rain at this time. This is the window. If you're thinking about, hey, I want to go to the lake this weekend, Saturday, any plans that you have, this is the time where you really need to watch it for places like Jasper, Lake Tuscaloosa north there from about lunchtime into early evening. You can see for Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, back towards Lay Lake around 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock, over towards Pell City and Logan Martin, Anniston and Points North through early evening, and then mainly after 3 o'clock for areas to the far southeast. There is a marginal risk, the level 1 out of 5 marginal risk from the Storm Prediction Center, but keep in mind over this past weekend we had a marginal risk and we saw some widespread damage in some areas out there. So even on those marginal risk days, we can end up with some very strong winds, and we need to be weather alert. Tomorrow, though, no issues. Now, there's a chance we could see maybe an isolated shower overnight, areas to the far north, but that's about it overnight. We're in fine shape this evening, and you can see tomorrow, it looks like some nice conditions out there. Some clouds mixing in. Nice little breeze out of the northeast. It's going to feel nice again tomorrow morning. It was nice earlier today. Those cooler mornings didn't go quite as cold as what we were thinking. We didn't see upper 40s, but certainly a good chance tomorrow morning that we are going to see those temperatures out there in the 50s and 60s. Enjoy it. But some nice weather for SEC baseball coming up tomorrow, that SEC baseball tournament. We have the dry weather conditions, but with respect to the weekend, really need to watch it Saturday and Sunday as we go into the afternoon. Well, as we continue to talk about Tuesday's storm system, survey teams have confirmed 3 tornadoes to hit central Alabama, all 3 EF1 tornadoes that impacted Calhoun County, Cleburne County, and Bullock County. North Alabama, there were 2 confirmed EF2 tornadoes in Limestone and Madison counties, one with winds up to 134 miles per hour, as well as an EF1 tornado in Athens. This brings the total count of tornadoes across Alabama to 6. And the one that was in Calhoun County, that moved from Sacs in the Blue Mountain area. That's where we saw that EF1. And with those storm surveys taking a few days to be completed, a similar situation happening across south central Kansas as the National Weather Service. They also sent survey teams to rate that tornado as well. Kate Devin joins us now with an inside look at how tornadoes are rated and the process behind it.
Tornadoes are rated based off of different damage indicators that we look at and the degree of damage.
A tornado nearly a mile wide roared through Reno County, the largest Kansas has seen in 6 years. The storm caused EF3 damage in southeast Stratford and northeast Pratt counties, and EF2 damage as it passed through Plevna.
It's not about how wide or big it looks or how scary it looks. It is about how much damage occurred and then what severity that damage was.
While she says wind speed matters, the damage left behind tells the real story. Vanessa Fiirst with the National Weather Service in Wichita says assessing that damage isn't immediate. Crews comb through the aftermath, surveying trees, buildings, even what's missing to piece together the tornado's power. You might see chaos, but meteorologists see data, and sometimes that data is hard to find.
Because our scale is so dependent on what does it actually hit and that damage indicator and then the severity of that damage, the degree of damage that occurred, in rural areas where there's not much, there might not be those indicators.
The National Weather Service says the enhanced Fujita scale is a tool of science built by structural engineers to reflect wind speed through damage. And CAKE's managing meteorologist Jay Prater says it's better than ever.
I think that surveys are more accurate of estimated wind speeds than they were 20, 30 years ago.
Jay says while quality takes time, accuracy is a priority.
It doesn't matter how long the survey takes as long as it is accurate, but people just want to know as soon as possible, and I know that leads to frustration.
In this case, weather officials say they gave Plevna about 40 minutes of warning, a remarkable head start that may have saved lives.
That's a pretty impressive amount of time to take shelter.
Well, one of the big stories to arrive today, the Atlantic hurricane season. Well, we know it's coming up on June the 1st. NOAA, they've released their outlook and calling for, this is the average compared to the forecast, calling for 13 to 19 named storms for this upcoming hurricane season, 6 to 10 hurricanes, 3 to 5 major hurricanes, but forecasting an active season. We've seen a lot of active season forecasts here over the past few years, but a lot of times, you know, what happens is we see these forecasts for accurate season or active seasons, and then you get a lot of systems that just spin out over the Atlantic and don't necessarily make a direct landfall. That can happen too. So even though there's an active season forecast, that doesn't mean that all these are going to move into the Gulf of Mexico. It just means that there is an active or a higher number compared to the average of tropical systems, but we'll watch it. We've had some certainly some busy seasons around here. I'll never will forget the 2005 season when we ran out of names for the first time. We had Dennis and Katrina and Rita, and we've had some busy seasons since then, certainly. But here's a look at the names for the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season, which is right around the corner. It runs from June the 1st to November 30th. And what happens this time of the year is you start dealing with those very warm sea surface temperatures, and that's what fuels tropical systems. And with the flow and with the curvature of the earth and the spin in the atmosphere, you start to see these thunderstorms when they develop in these easterly waves, and these, we call them seedlings, tropical seedlings, and then they grow into tropical depressions and then tropical storms. But the first name on the list is Andrea. Then we have Barry as the B name storm, and all the way down to Wendy. But hopefully we don't make it that far, right? So we'll be monitoring closely. We're now already seeing the Pacific season has kicked off, so we'll be talking about the Atlantic hurricane season. But in about 30 seconds, we continue to talk about the storm chance for your Memorial Day weekend and take you to Missouri, where we talk about the impacts left from that devastating tornado just 14 years ago. We'll be right back. And welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. How about a live look from the Gulf Coast? A temperature around 82 degrees. If you're planning a beach trip and heading down for the weekend, it looks like the higher rain chances really don't start to work into those areas along the coast until more into next week around Tuesday and Wednesday. So for Memorial Day weekend, we should catch some nice breaks for Saturday and Sunday. Again, that main storm track Saturday looks like a lot of those storms kind of impacting northern areas, the greater chance, but it looks like at least for the coast, a lot of that storm activity stays north. Same for Sunday. Monday, we have a 30% chance of rain there. Tuesday and Wednesday, though, notice rain chances go up. So if you're staying through next week, plan for those scattered storm chances to come back. And, of course, pay close attention to the rip current risk and the flags there along the coast. Make sure you have the First Alert Weather app, too. That follows you wherever you go. Well, do you remember this? Just shy of a month after the April 27th tornado outbreak here in our area, another would occur in the heart of Joplin, Missouri. An EF5 tornado struck that area and left a 6-mile trail of destruction. Over 500 businesses and over 7,000 homes were damaged or destroyed, and 158 people lost their lives. This tornado remains the costliest tornado in modern U.S. history and was one of 48 tornadoes to happen on this day in 2011. And back here at home, neighbors across East Birmingham are continuing to work to clean up damage. This comes after severe weather brought down trees and utility lines throughout many neighborhoods. Your reporter Jonathan Hoppy joins us after talking with some of our neighbors.
I spoke with some neighbors who say it's been a frustrating few days. Many of them were trapped on these streets over the weekend. They look forward to the city and county officials coming out to pick up the debris that's left over. There is quite a bit of debris on this street off 5 Mile Road in Birmingham. This area was hit hard by storms last weekend, and until neighbors worked together to clear a path, the roads were blocked by trees.
Because, trees, we were blocked. My mom was blocked in from that way, the other side. So the neighbors pretty much came together and got it until the city workers came.
As far as what is left, the Jefferson County Commission passed a resolution Thursday that will put crews on the road to pick up storm debris beginning next Tuesday.
The citizens can push that to their right-of-way line and then make a request to the county, and we'll pick that up between May 27th, which is next Tuesday, to June 10th, which is 2 Tuesdays from then.
Jefferson County work crews cannot go on your property to collect damage. The debris must be out by the street. And moving those limbs and trees is what most folks here have been doing.
Well, basically, everybody just been getting their debris up, just putting it out, putting it out in the front so they could get access to it.
The county says crews will only be picking up storm debris when they get to work next week.
We're not here to pick up household items or trash or couches or something you're trying to get rid of. It has to be related to the storm.
And Chris Nicholson with Jefferson County says the easiest way to request debris pickup is through the MyJeffco app. We have more information on that available right now on the WBRC News app. Your reporter in Birmingham, Jonathan Hoppy, WBRC 6 News, on your side.
Don't go anywhere. We continue to talk about what you can expect for your Friday and talk about the newest NASA initiative that could potentially help with fighting fires as we head into the summer months. We'll be right back with more First Alert Weather Extra. And welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. One of the new sky vision views from Eolan, Alabama, right there between Centerville and Duncanville in Tuscaloosa County. And you can see that view there. It's just some high clouds, but overall, we got some nice weather heading into this evening. I want to go over to our First Alert AccuTrack system here and just show you where we're seeing some clouds at the moment. You can see building in, no rain showing up though at this time. We're going to be talking about a chance that later on tonight maybe a couple of showers could sneak into the north. You'll notice there's some more active weather here. Matt was showing you this last night, and Megan and Mickey. We're getting back into that flow where we're going to have more storms tracking in from the west and northwest. There's one little pocket of rain right here. This is a couple states away, but you can see it's just moving along. If it kind of follows that path, there's a chance it might slide in, maybe skirt far northern counties overnight. That won't be a problem for you. If you're thinking about heading out the door, run some errands this evening, you're in fine shape. That's going to be late tonight, if anything, but probably fall apart. I'm not overly confident that's going to reach us, but the chance is there, giving you the first alert. But I do think rain chances are going up over the weekend. I was really hoping that we'd see the dry forecasts that we were seeing last week hold on, but man, that has changed quite a bit. The models just keep going back to these weekend storms, and this pattern is going to stick around, it looks like, through the last weekend of the month. I mean, we're going to be dealing with more scattered thunderstorms. So for this weekend, we need to stay alert for the possibility. It's back to that risk for some strong straight line winds, maybe some hail producers, I think Saturday afternoon, and then again later in the day on Sunday. Maybe some breaks out there for both days, but those afternoon storm chances go way up. Memorial Day, rain and storms look even more likely. And if we get some rain before lunchtime on Memorial Day, hopefully that provides some breaks during the afternoon, but I do see a good chance for storms. Again, straight line wind threat, also the risk for some large hail. That's why the Storm Prediction Center, you look at the severe weather outlook, no issue today, of course, tomorrow, but you get to Saturday, and you can see right there, we're seeing that marginal severe weather risk, and we'll probably see that again on Sunday. But let's walk through the data, and you see right there that little wave of showers perhaps trying to sneak into the north. We get to Friday around 8 o'clock in the morning. Tomorrow, 60s, and we're going to see some 50s to the north, and I went even an average low around 59. A nice cool start tomorrow morning, and we were talking about those cooler mornings. It's going to feel nice out there. Rest of the day, though, we heat back up into the 80s, but a dry day with sunshine. But here it comes Saturday. Enjoy it. Take advantage of every break you can get this weekend, because afternoon storms will be a possibility. Some of those swinging through on Saturday during the afternoon. It looks like northern areas north of I-20 have the greater chance for storms Saturday. But again, some of those could be strong with some heavy rain, but they'll move on through. So delays should be temporary. And then we get to Sunday, we'll have some more scattered storms as well. You know, what you would expect typically for the first unofficial weekend of summer, right, with those scattered storms. But you can see the rain chances are going to stick around as we go to Sunday. Monday for Memorial Day, rain and storms likely the same there on Tuesday, and we will continue those rain chances through the middle of next week. But you can see through the middle of next week, Wednesday and Thursday, we're down to 30% rain chances isolated, and then towards the end of next week, the rain chances start to go up again. So all the way through the end of the month and to start June, we will see more storms and higher than average rain chances expected in that long range forecast. So again, stay weather alert this weekend for that possibility. Still some hot conditions at times. We warm up quickly with highs back into the 80s. But right now, I want to share a couple of photos today. I was actually on the road for a visit and had a great time, spent some time with our friends at the Lions Club in Northport, and we talked a lot about our operation here, of course, at WBRC, but a lot about the weather we've been dealing with here lately and just severe weather in general, but just a great discussion there, and it was just so wonderful sharing my story with the folks at the Northport Lions Club, and I just want to thank them for lunch and the invite and the nice hospitality there. Always great getting down to Tuscaloosa and seeing friends. And I want to thank Johnny Price there for the invite as well, a good friend as well. We had a fun time in Tuscaloosa, and I know with the school season winding down, we still have lots of visits on the calendar. And if you ever want to reach out to the First Alert Weather Team, you can find us on our website, and of course, you can find us at Weather in the Classroom as well. So as we continue, NASA is not only exploring space, they're now also fighting fires here on Earth. So when wildfires burned through parts of LA County earlier this year, NASA sped up the testing of its new firefighting technology. Fox News multimedia reporter Sarah Allegra has more on this story.
I'm outside of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. It's the home of where a lot of this tech is being developed. Now, ironically, the hills behind the lab were scorched during the Eaton fire. The flames were moving quickly, the smoke was thick, and people were trying to get out of here in a hurry. Now, NASA's trying to change all that really across the country. Some of their most recent efforts, the state of Alabama. Wildfires spread fast, but now NASA's helping crews move faster. Their new tool is already in the air from the southern forests to the California foothills. Real-time eyes in the sky capturing what crews on the ground can't always see.
Because we were in the plane with a real-time product that could tell the first responders where is the fire, how hot is it, they were using that information to deploy their resources and actually save some structures.
The sensor is called Avarice 3. Dr. Robert Green is the NASA scientist who leads the team behind it. He spent decades studying the Earth from above. Avarice 3 is a hyperspectral camera. It can spot flames, heat, even gases around the clock.
We can fly day or night. We can see through smoke to a very large degree.
It generates detailed maps of hot spots and fire lines.
So this is just 2400 nanometers.
And quickly gets the info to crews.
The data are collected by the sensor and it's uplinked to a Starlink satellite and then beamed down to fire crews within a matter of minutes.
The tech is a joint effort between NASA and Homeland Security, years in the making, now moving out of testing and into action. The Eaton fire in LA County gave crews a first look at its potential.
We did fly after the Eaton fire and map the burn severity, and that information was used by first responders to make decisions about hazards and how they might want to deploy people in terms of cleaning up immediately after the fire.
And NASA hopes even more states can soon get the same support.
To be responsive to fires, which I'm even learning are occurring in many other places I didn't expect, in Florida, in Alabama, in Tennessee, in Georgia.
NASA is also working on another system that allows ground crews to fly unmanned aircrafts during low visibility. That means night or when there's some thick smoke as well. And that's a big game changer because we don't have the tech for that right now. Usually when the sun goes down, firefighting efforts from the sky, well, that stops too. In Pasadena, California, Sarah Allegre, Fox News.
And welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. As always, we love to spend some extra time sharing your photos right here. And Kaylee sharing that lovely sunrise on the First Alert Weather app. Jennifer Davis, a nice evening in Rainbow City that was shared earlier this week. And thank you, Joseph, for this lovely sunrise view. Look at those clouds. That was in Coleman. And yeah, red sky at morning. Watch out. Nathan Woodard sharing this sunrise at Sportsman Lake Park. And how about Nick Boone, always with some incredible views. Big Bend National Park. What a view. Nick does a great job with he shares a lot of astronomy photos, but man, what a view. But hey, next couple of days, watch out for those storm chances coming back this weekend. We're all over it. We'll have a lot of updates tonight as we gather new forecast data. As we get closer to Saturday, we'll have more specifics on timing. So check in with us for the latest. We'll keep you well informed right here on WBRC.